You're listening to the So Good It Doesn't Make Sense podcast, a podcast for women navigating divorce who want more. More clarity, more money, more peace, more power. I'm Megan Norris, divorce expert, coach, and the friend who's going to tell you the truth. Not just about what's happening right now, but about what's possible for you next. This podcast is about making decisions you trust, building a life you actually want, and becoming the version of you that no one saw coming. Whether you're in it, ending it, or already out, you're in the right place. You're about to become the CEO of your life and create one so good it doesn't make sense. Let's get started. Oh, hi, welcome back to the podcast. I want to talk today about the dangers of being justified. This is an episode that I recorded in my private podcast feed a couple of years ago, and it's one that I continue to get messages about. I re-listened to it recently and I thought, oh yeah, that is good. But here's the thing. I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. And I don't want to just regurgitate it. I really want to speak to you from a place of inspiration and flow. But that is something that I have struggled with lately. And so we're just going to see how this comes out. I haven't outlined anything. I never outline my private podcast episodes. I talk openly, I talk freely, I let it flow, and they're the best. I don't know what my deal is with, I don't know if it's because it's public. I don't know if I don't know what's happening. I'm in some sort of like growth phase perhaps, but I want to revisit this topic, but I want to do it with a fresh take based on who I am today. I haven't thought about this concept in a while because it's not something that I struggle with anymore, but for a long time, I really was rooted in wanting to make sure that every decision I made in my life related to divorce or otherwise was justified. So if you are a decision maker like I am, I want to know all the options, and then I want to be able to weigh them, pros and cons. And what I'll do is if I'm facing a lot of options, I'll use a process of elimination because I couldn't just pick what I wanted because I didn't know what that was. So I would eliminate this. I was like, okay, not this one, not this one, this won't work. And then what's left? And then I would like do a thing about making, trying to make the most practical, justifiable decision based on what was left over. Okay. Now, when this comes to making decisions about getting divorced in the divorce process and definitely after divorce, if you keep using this pattern of decision making, needing to justify your decisions, you're going to feel stuck a lot. It's going to be an energy drain on you. Why? Because wanting to be able to justify your decision, whether it's the decision to leave your marriage or the decision to settle your divorce, and you're looking for all the justification for why you're allowed to make the decision you want to make, you're going to run into a couple of problems. Number one, enough will never be enough. You will never reach the point where you think, okay, this is enough. Why? Because it's not really what you're looking for. Your brain just wants to stay stuck in indecision, and it's using finding justifiable reasons to make the decision as a reason to not make the decision. That was a lot of words, but hopefully you followed. Trying to justify your decision with evidence that exists outside of you is a pattern. It's a habit. I need one more thing. If you're always looking for the one more thing, you'll never have enough justification. You're never going to feel satisfied and at peace with a decision. You have to, and usually when women make a final decision about something, they've shifted out of that mindset of needing to be justified. Something has happened. Something shifted inside of you. Something happened outside of you that helped you get clarity. And when you're stuck in needing to be justified because you don't want judgment from others, because you are afraid of having to you feel like you have to explain yourself. You think that you need to be palatable, for it to make sense to the people that you're close with or your ex or your kids. And you're afraid that if you can't do those things, then you will be rejected on a very human level. You will be excluded from the tribe, and that is a survival mechanism. But also, just in general, in our society and culture, women are conditioned to take up less space, be palatable, and really need as little and want as little as possible. So if you're making a decision to change your life that impacts everybody in your life, this big decision, and it can be something after divorce too. Maybe you want to move, or maybe you're dating somebody, or maybe you want to take a new job or start a business. And you're faced with the invitation to take up a lot of space with something you want. It is in conflict. There's dissonance with the way that you've been conditioned. This is not a problem. It's just an opportunity for your expansion. Now that you're aware of it, I want you to start looking for, where are you trying to justify your decisions? And usually the easiest place to access this habit is in your shopping. Let's say you want to buy some new clothes. How much time do you spend trying to justify that? Well, I need this for this thing. I need this for this. This is old. I haven't had this this has a hole in it. I had a private client once who was grocery shopping, and she sent me a message and she said, I bought the pre-cut cantaloupe just because it made my life easier and I wanted it. And that was such a huge, monumental breakthrough. And so, what's the word? So telling of how tortured we are with this idea of, I need to be able to justify my decision. And before she did that, she couldn't justify it. It was more expensive. It was about her being lazy, which is rich, right? You're not lazy. And recognizing that your desire to make a decision, to have something, to give yourself something, to head in the direction of your vision is all the justification that you need. Now, this is an entirely new way of making decisions because it's an internal from the inside out process versus I need to look outside of me for something to tell me I'm allowed to want this, and then I'll let myself want it. This is an entirely new experience for most of us. So I want you to try it this week. I want you to experiment with, what is it that I want? And can that be enough of a reason to give it to myself? Because here's the irony that that your desires, the things that you want, from the small things to the big things, right? From the takeout for dinner because it's more convenient and you're really tired, to the big things like I want a divorce or I'm going to get remarried after my divorce. Your desire, your vision is very well informed by your experiences, your preferences, your unique humanity that is unrepeatable. I had a mentor tell me once, you are an unrepeatable miracle. Unrepeatable. Never will there ever exist you again. The you are today, in the billions of years that this planet has been around, and the billions of people on it, there will never be another you. So the idea that you can't trust what it is that you want, or the idea that you will find the justification for what you want outside of you, because remember, you're an unrepeatable miracle, you're unique, nothing like you exists in the world, in the history of the world, or the future of the world, is absurd. Of course, you're not going to find the justification for who you are outside of you. It's going to come from inside of you. So if you're going to bring awareness to why you might want something, then I suggest you look inward, not outward. I can explain it this way. Well, it was on sale. Well, I can't tell you how many times I have heard somebody say, if he would just hit me, it would be easier. If it'd been worse, it would have been easier. That's a thought error, by the way. It's not easier because your brain, that's in the habit of looking outside of yourself for justification for your decisions, has the same mechanism, the same habit, no matter what happens to you. So it's just this never-ending, bottomless pit of seeking, searching, chasing something that gives you permission to be you. And there is no set of circumstances outside of you that you can find that will do that for you. This is as close as you're going to get. So if it helps, and sometimes it does, to hear somebody say, you have permission, not only do you have permission to want what you want without justification, it's actually imperative that you pay attention to that because it's your unique expression of humanity in this earth, and you came here with a purpose, and there is a point to the thing that you want, big or small. It is meant to exist in this world. You're a creator. You're a designer. You are here to create your reality. And if you are constantly outsourcing that process by looking for justification outside of yourself, the world is missing who you're meant to be in it and the unique expression of you that has an infinite ripple effect on the people and things around you in ways you will never be able to see or know. Not only that, though, it's also just freaking miserable to be consistently disconnected from who you really are and what you really want. Now, sometimes we don't even know what that is because it's been so long since we asked ourselves this question or maybe we never have, and we just feel nothingness when we actually stop to ask ourselves that, and we're curious about the answers that I don't know. I'll never forget years ago when I first found life coaching, I was on a call with my coach, and I don't even remember what I was talking about, but it was like, I think maybe social anxiety or something. It was like around the holidays. It was before my divorce. And she was kind of in a hurry because it was at the end of the call. And I was talking about this anxiety and like what other people might think about me. And she stopped me and she said, wait a minute, but what do you want to think about you? I'm sorry, what? I swear she broke my brain, and I shifted timelines immediately in that moment. I quantum leaped something came into my awareness I had never before considered. This is a true story. I've never until that moment had I considered the possibility that what I wanted was even a relevant inquiry. What? What do you mean? What do I want to think about myself? What does that have to do with anything? I don't know. I want to think about whatever. I don't know. I just want other people to think a certain way about me. It broke my brain. And that was sort of the beginning. That was the seed that was planted. And over time, the process of self-discovery and realizing that it's actually, once you unlock it, it's very easy to slide into your natural desires and natural preferences. When you're overcomplicating it and you're like, well, I don't really know what I want. Yeah, you do. It's as natural as breathing. You just sometimes have to get some obstacles out of the way, whether it's fear of judgment or your own self-judgment. Maybe it's fear of the consequences. I don't know. That's your job to figure out. But I do know that looking for justification outside of yourself is a never-ending quest that leads nowhere. It will keep you busy. It's a distraction. It is a distraction, from yourself, from having to sit in the discomfort of allowing yourself to want something, to ask yourself what that is, and then to move in that direction, to take an action that heads in that direction, to say it out loud, to make a phone call, to have a preference, an opinion about something without justification, other than it is the expression of you. You're not too much. You're allowed to take up space in this world. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to take up space with rest. You see, sometimes I'll say, okay, but what do you want? And I'll be talking to a client. What do you want? And I'll say, I don't know. I don't want to, I don't know. I don't even want to think about it right now. There's your answer. What I want is to not think about this right now and to give it some space. Let it air out. You always know. And why in the world would you tell yourself that you don't? You can just, if that seems impossible, you can just try on, it's possible I know what I want. And if I did, what would that be? And I bet you discover the answer. But it's so much easier to live from a place of singularity where you're not split. What are they going to think? 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 How are they going to respond to this? How are they going to react? What are they going to think about my opinion? What are they going to think about what I think? But they're going to misunderstand me. It is such a complex, chaotic way to live. And when you close it down, you close all those tabs and you just come back to, oh, okay, but what do I want? And can I trust that what's informing that desire is all the justification that I need? It's just the expression of who I am. We are so afraid of what we really want and that it will be selfish or will hurt people or will be harmful or that we'll suffer because of it, that we spend all this time just trying to be justified. It's such an energy leak, an energy waste. And when you pull back all that energy and you reclaim it and you wield it intentionally to create something in your life that you really want, oh man, it is so satisfying. It's so rewarding. And it's not instantaneous. Okay. This can be a years long journey. I just did a reel about Taylor and Travis. She's about to be on the podcast the day that I'm recording this, and allegedly going to show the new album cover for The Life of a Showgirl. And there's these clips going around Instagram about him 2 years ago saying, I tried to give her this friendship bracelet with my number on it. She didn't want to talk to me. And I kind of took it personally. Fast forward to today, 2 years later, this man has manifested Taylor Swift as his girlfriend on his podcast, announcing her 12th album. And she, likewise, has gone from heartbreak, devastation, coupled with unimaginable success and world domination to being from trauma, right? If you're a Taylor Swift fan, you know that the Reputation era, and then she was criticized in the media, and there was a whole Kanye West thing, and everyone hated her. She'd stopped doing interviews. She hasn't done an interview in years. Maybe 2016. I think it's almost been a decade. And now, well, maybe less. I don't know. Anyway, now she's got this safe space to announce her album that feels comfortable. I'm sure they feel like family now. These two men they're so excited and celebrating her. It's such a beautiful co-creation watching this whole thing unfold. It took 2 years. This was all unfolding over the course of 2 years. So to stop being justified in your decisions, to let that go. We're not talking by tonight, you're going to have won the lottery in all the ways. It's an investment in your future. This is you divorcing an old identity and reclaiming either an old one or rebuilding one, or maybe building one for the first time that fits you like a glove, that is so you that you just can't deny it. So right, it can't be wrong. And the process of embodying this new identity that's so good it doesn't make sense can happen instantaneously, but it might take years for your reality to reflect this shift. There will be signs, there will be synchronicities, and they're so rewarding and satisfying to get along the way that it makes it worth it. You want to keep going, you want to keep making the investment, but it's not instantaneous, and that's okay because it's worth it. So we're going to focus less on being justified and looking outside of ourselves for permission to do what we want, to create safety, to create a false sense of control and certainty and security. Well, would they agree with my decision to quit my job and go start this business or look for or try to get a promotion or whatever, start my own company? Then I must be safer. And we're going to start internalizing this, and we're going to come from the inside out. We're going to say, okay, but this is what I want. And how can I strategically surround myself with the support system that might fill in my knowledge gaps or support my emotional and mental and physical health as I move in that direction? If you want to do that work with me, I have a new mastermind that I am opening for the fall for post-divorce women. I'll record a podcast separately about that. I also have, if you're still in the divorce process, I have a membership for you, and I hope that you get yourself in the door. There's no reason for you not to be inside that membership if you are getting divorced, and it will change the trajectory of your divorce and life forever, and that is a guarantee. All right, I will see you next week. Bye. Thanks for listening to the So Good It Doesn't Make Sense podcast. If today's episode resonated, please take a minute and leave a review. It helps women find this work and change their lives and divorces too. For more support, be sure you follow me on Instagram at Megan Norris Coaching. That's where I share real-time strategy, perspective, and what it actually looks like day to day. And when you're ready to go deeper, join the Divorce Academy, my monthly membership for women navigating divorce with clarity, power, and community. I'll see you next week. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for legal, financial, or mental health advice. Please consult with licensed professionals as needed.